Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an article titled U.S. Mom's Affair with Fiance's Dad, 61, Tears Both Their Families Apart. And guys, this crazy story, and this is crazy, this is all about this girl who was engaged with this guy, and she started having an affair with his dad. Okay, no joke. The dad's going through divorce, and for whatever reason, he starts hooking up with the dad. Okay, talk about a nice family, right? And you know, guys, ordinarily, when I do videos and go over articles and stories, they usually have a point. There's usually a lesson to be learned to teach you guys, to help you guys out in life, one form or another. This is one of these situations. There really isn't any kind of lesson here. This is just one of these stories I came across, one of these what the F type of stories I couldn't resist reading and figured I'd share with you guys for a good laugh, just to show you how screwed up some people can be and the world can be. And as I go through this, guys, you're going to see, you have to question here, who's worse? Who's worse? The girl who's with the guy for like 6 years, they were engaged to be married, and she's hooking up with him and hooking up with her dad. Or who's worse? The dad hooking up with his son's fiance, right? Now, in my opinion, the dad is worse, no matter what, because he's the father, but still, they're both pretty screwed up and are low lives, in my opinion. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to go through this. You're going to see I'm talking about this. This isn't bullshit. This is real. So it starts off. And guys, by the way, I apologize about the noisy rain here. This is the only time I get a chance to film today, and it's pouring here, so bear with me here. The studio will be ready probably in a few weeks and no more of the rain. And you'll probably miss the sirens going off. Starts off, a woman in the United States has revealed how she left her childhood sweetheart after having an affair with his dad, who was 36 years her senior. Mackenzie Yoakum, 25, and 61-year-old Jeff Scholl began having an affair when she was engaged to his son, and they now have a 5-month-old baby together, despite neither of the families speaking to them. Well, I would have nothing to do with them either. And 36 years apart, that's a huge difference. Now, don't get me wrong, I got no problem with guys, older men, going out with younger women. I got no problem with that. But it's a problem when obviously this is this was the guy's son. This was his fiance he was going to be married to, right? I mean, what the hell? That dad, I'm all about honoring and being respectful of your elders, honoring your mother and father, the whole Bible thing. But in this particular case, that dad deserves a good punch in the face, in my opinion. If he wanted younger ass, he can go out and get younger ass. It doesn't have to be his son's fiance. You gotta be kidding me. Miss Yoakum, who is from the U.S. state of Illinois, admits she started admiring her married, soon-to-be father-in-law when her own relationship hit a rough patch. Well, if it hit a rough patch, break up with the guy. Don't just go be with the guy, your boyfriend or fiance, and go hooking up with his dad. I mean, what the hell's the matter with you? She was grateful Mr. Scholl, who was going through his own divorce, offered her a shoulder to cry on. Well, he offered her a lot more body parts to cry on and have fun with shortly after. The pair soon began a 6-month affair, but were eventually caught out, with Miss Yoakum admitting she regrets not being honest with Mr. Scholl's wife and son, who she dated for 6 years and has decided not to name about her feelings for him sooner. Oh, now she regrets it. Miss Yoakum and father of 4, Mr. Scholl, who are still together and share his son Wyatt, say that being caught only secured their love for one another, despite some family members now refusing to speak to them. Well, I'd have nothing to do with those assholes either, at all. I mean, what the hell? Talk about being a lowlife here. And I love this, it secured our love. Come on. Both Mr. Scholl's son and one of his daughters, as well as his ex-wife, no longer have any sort of relationship with the couple, while Miss Yoakum's brother has also cut her off. The one thing I regret is not being honest and starting a relationship with Jeff before our previous relationship ended, Miss Yoakum said. How hard is it to do that? How hard is it to break up with? I mean, it'd be bad enough that she would be interested in pursuing her fiance's dad. I mean, you want to talk about daddy issues here, good Lord. But at the very least, break up with the guy. But literally, at the time, while she's hooking up with the fiance, she's also hooking up with his dad. I mean, come on here. You want to talk about screwed up? This is like literally these trashy daytime talk show subjects. It doesn't get any more than this. She said, we should have just been honest about our feelings and said we weren't happy. Miss Yoakum said she and Mr. Scholl had an emotional affair for a year, and she physically cheated for only 6 months. Well, that's a lot of physical activity that can happen in the course of 6 months. That doesn't make it any better. She says, I was really unhappy in the relationship with his son at the same time that Jeff was on the brink of divorce, she said. Again, break up with a guy. It's not that hard. But she's selfish. Miss Yoakum claims her fiancé and his mom discovered their affair in 2018, and when both relationships ended, she and Jeff, who already had 3 children with his ex-wife, were able to continue their romance. Retired fireman Mr. Shaw claims he no longer has a relationship with his son, and some of Miss Yoakum's family members have chosen to cut her off. Again, I'd have nothing to do with this guy either. At all. I'd be like, that's it, Dad. This guy, if he was going through divorce, and he was unhappy, and he wanted some young ass, okay, go get some young ass, okay? And if that's hard, if that's too difficult, given that he's 61, then obviously you can pay for it. But not your son's fiancé. You out of your damn mind? He said, Mr. Schultz said it's been really hurtful to lose those family relationships, especially the one with his son. Well, then instead you should have stopped listening to that brain down there. I do really regret how things have turned out, he said. I feel like I never had a chance to explain myself because he never confronted me. He just cut me off, then we heard from another source that he knew about the relationship, and now we live in different towns. This guy doesn't deserve that talk, okay? He doesn't deserve even a confrontation. His son just said, I'm out of here, we're done. That's it. And a chance to explain himself. What's he going to explain? I fell in love with your girl, your fiancé is 31 years younger, who's basically been like a daughter to me. What's he going to explain? I want him to know that I'm sorry, but he wasn't happy with Mackenzie, and he's happy in a new relationship. So now everyone is happy. Oh, okay. Well, now that he wasn't happy with her, and now he has a new relationship, so everybody's happy. So we should all just shake hands and hug it out and make up. Bullshit. This is really screwed up. Miss Yoakum said her former fiancé never confronted her about the affair either, and instead chose to end things. Yeah, he didn't give her the time of day either. Well, good for him, because he doesn't owe her an explanation. Since finding out about the affair, some of Miss Yoakum's family members have completely cut her off, including her brother. She says, we obviously didn't want to hurt anyone. That whole year was just really tough because I had a miscarriage before we had Wyatt. I think it was God's way of telling us that we should have children together, but not yet. Let's bring God in to bless this unholy get-together here. I just want my ex and his mom to know that I am sorry for what happened, and I do feel bad. It is what it is. You make your bed and you lie in it. And it's going to be interesting to see these two go forward. Miss Yoakum and her former fiancé were childhood sweethearts who met at high school and got engaged 4 years later, but grew apart after she began fighting with his mom. Oh, so she's fighting with the future mother-in-law, so she's going to show her by hooking up with her husband. Okay. What does this say about her character, okay? And how long is it going to be before things don't go well with the father now? How long until things start? How long? I can't talk right, guys. How long until things don't start going well with the guy she's with, the father? And is she going to look for somebody else? Is she going to want to hook up with his dad? Go for the grandpa? Is that how this is going to go? She said, I started to confide in Jeff, the father, and ask for advice, she said. That's when we started getting friendly. I don't know who it was, but someone told my fiancé what was going on, and he ended the relationship with Jeff's wife, and Jeff's wife filed for divorce. Miss Yoakum and Mr. Scholl are hoping to buy a home together and plan to get married in the future. What, are they going to buy a home in the retirement community? We have a normal relationship, and the age gap doesn't bother us, she said. Well, as long as he keeps a fresh supply of Viagra together to keep up with her young 26-year-old self. But anyhow, guys, like I said before, this is pure entertainment. This is just a crazy story that I came across, had to share. There really isn't any life lessons here except for the fact that, guess what? People are screwed up, and you never know. So basically, if I could squeeze out a lesson here, it is this. Is basically always keep your eye open. People are capable of anything, even the people you're closest to. This guy's fiance and this guy's own dad, okay, betrayed him, okay? So it's sad, but does this mean this is going to happen all the time with people that you love and care about, or that supposedly love and care about you? No. But this type of stuff can happen. It's crazy, but you know. So, but anyhow, guys, thought you would enjoy this quick little crazy story. That is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you've already heard any crazy stories like this, or knew somebody that this happened to. I'd like to hear about it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.